Welcome to this Thursday Thoughts edition of the Real Deal podcast. I'll only take you for a couple of minutes. Again, I want to thank Kelsey Nicole Nelson for coming on to the program yesterday evening. Check it out when you get the chance to. She had some great insight on the world of sports media and women in sports media. So check that conversation out when you get the chance to. That was my last podcast last night. Just a couple things here. Deion Waiters is a Laker. That just became official. He can score. He can score. He can create offense. Um, would it have been my first choice? Probably not. I actually will like the Jamal Crawford, even the J.R. Smith, but I think that with that culture, with LeBron, Anthony Davis, again, he can put up numbers and he can create offense. So don't really have a major problem with it. Last night you had Luca versus Zion Part One, with Luca getting the best of it. But that wasn't even the story of the game. The story of the game to me was Kristaps Porzingis and his performance. And Porzingis and Luca are both playing well at the same time for the first time this season, which makes Dallas somewhat scary for a first round opponent. And I've said if it is Dallas, Denver, matter of fact, I would pick Dallas to win that series. I would not want to play Dallas in the first round. Luka can absolutely wreck up a playoff series. Porzingis is playing his best basketball of the season. So that's a team. Now again, they're not a contender, but they're a team that can really make you fight a lot harder than what you should in a first round matchup, depending on where they fall. They're not going to fall below 7. They could even move up, even possibly to 6. But that is a dangerous team for a first round matchup. Also, a lot going on. A lot of talk about this, with the MVP, which to me has been over for the last couple of months, and there seems to be a push for LeBron James to win MVP, despite the fact that from start to finish, the Greek Freak has been the dominant player in the league, on the best team record-wise in the league, and he has a chance to me, not only win and not only should he win MVP, I think he should be also Defensive Player of the Year. And what happened, there was a time where MVP was very simple. It was either you were the best player on the best team. Now, there were certain years where it would be Jordan fatigue, Karl Malone would win it. All right, we got to make up for Jordan not winning it, so let's give it to Jordan in a year where Utah had the best record, and clearly Karl Malone was the best player on Utah. So years like that, or a year like 87, 88, Jordan was the dominant player in the league. He averaged 35, 5, and 5, won Defensive Player of the Year, and took a Bulls team to the playoffs that just wasn't that good, where they didn't have the best record. So you have rare years. He had like a Barry Bonds type year where his team doesn't have the best record, but he's so dominant individually that you can't just you almost have to give him an MVP. But for the most part, it was best player on best team. But if you really look at the years, Magic, Bird, Jordan, and even guys like Shaq with his one MVP, and Tim Duncan were winning MVPs. But lately, in the last 5 years, it's become a narrative award. What's the best story? What's the story that's gained the most momentum? Russell Westbrook, triple-double. Last year, James Harden finally getting one when, there were thoughts that he could have won 2, or possibly 1, or possibly at least 2. Now the narrative is LeBron James, year 17. No one at 35 has ever played at this level. So that is going to be the narrative. That's what's going to be pushed. The Greek Freak has clearly been the best player in the league this year, and if the vote is close, it would be an embarrassment if the vote is even close. So that's where I stand. A lot of big games this weekend in the NBA. Beginning tonight, you have Clippers in Houston, 2 teams that don't like each other, 2 teams that played great games this year. Lakers have a big weekend tomorrow, hosting Milwaukee. Then they'll be officially the road team, but again, it's the game's at Staples with the Clippers. So a big weekend for the Lakers with tomorrow, with Friday and Sunday, and also a great game tonight. that's going to wrap it up for this abbreviated edition of the Real Deal Podcast, Thursday Thoughts. I'm out.